Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. We're so excited to have you join us today. For all of our students that are present, please make sure you complete the form that's in the chat room. This is just to help us capture your contact information so we can follow up with your professors in case you guys are here for credit for any of your classes. So welcome to LaGuardia Humanitarian Initiative. This theme is Borders, Home, and Migration, and I'm going to turn it to our wonderful founder, Tuli.
Thank you, Esther. So good afternoon, and I'm so glad to see you all. So I'm Dr. Tuli Chatterjee from the English department, and I'll give you a very brief overview of what LaGuardia Humanitarian Initiative is. So LaGuardia Humanitarian Initiative is a platform created by and for students, staff, and faculty to come together so that we can translate our classroom learning, pedagogy, as well as our lived experiences into developing and executing national and global projects on human rights and civic engagement. So what we do is that every year we decide on a theme, which is a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. There are 17 goals in the United Nations, which works towards making the world a better place for everyone. So each year we focus on a goal, and as a college, we explore that goal. So that faculty, for instance, this year's theme, for instance, is Borders, Home, and Migration. And we are exploring the theme from local, like national, as well as from global perspectives. And faculty in around about, say, 7 to 8 departments, seven disciplines are exploring the themes also in their respective classrooms. So what we are trying to do is that having a college-wide initiative to explore this theme, we are partnering with different organizations and NGOs locally, nationally, as well as global NGOs to connect, to help students connect what they are learning in classrooms and apply that learning into action for social change. So this is our theme, and this is what we do. And we strongly believe that when we are together, we can definitely make the world a better place for everyone. So without much ado, let me welcome Esther, Rosa, Rosie Rosado, and Dima Badretkar to take the session today. Thank you.
So welcome, everyone. We're so excited to have you guys here with us today for our workshop with our special guest, Make the Road. So in case you guys are new to our LaGuardia Humanitarian Initiative, we just wanted to let you guys know that during the presentation, please make sure that you turn off your microphones. We will have at the end of the session an opportunity for you guys to ask questions and answers. So please utilize the chat room to, if you guys have any responses, any commentary, any questions, please add into the chat room. As Tuli mentioned, Dima, Rocio, and myself will be monitoring the chat room. So we're so excited to have you guys all here. And just a reminder for those who just are joining us, for the students, please make sure that you're completing the link that's in the chat room, so that way we can capture your contact information and make sure that you guys are receiving credit for your classes. Rocio, next page. After that? Okay, awesome. So bring it back. So again, I want to welcome our special guest from Make the Road. So we have Alex. He is part of the Youth Power Project at Make the Road, New York. As an immigrant who crossed the border at a young age, Alex has advocated for New York State DREAM Act, Deferred Acts for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, and then the Preferred Actions for Parents of America, DAPA, both at state and national level. He has worked to foster the goal in Youth Power Project that focused on eliminating school-to-prison pipeline in New York State. During 2020-2021, Alexis joined others in advocating for solutions, not suspension, to limit disciplinary practices across schools. At the citywide level, Alexis campaigned for police-free schools to remove all police personnel from New York City schools. Getting engaged with the community members has opened the doors for Alexis to support and educate communities of color to build a strong and inclusive society for all. And also joining Alexis is Perla. She's an alumni of LaGuardia Community College of 2020. She's an immigrant from Mexico and is a youth organizer at Make the Road. So please help me welcome Alexis and Perla.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm not sure if maybe this is a time to share the PowerPoint that we have.
Yeah, just give me a second and just having difficulties. Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Awesome. So again, thank you for the really nice introduction. My name is Perla. I'm a youth organizer at Make the Road, New York. And I'm originally from Mexico. And again, I'm an immigrant from Mexico. That we're talking about migration and we're talking about social justice. I came here to the United States undocumented as well. So I think that's how the work for youth organizing started, because I am an immigrant myself. My parents are immigrants as well. So Alex, do you want to introduce yourself real quick, or you're good?
Yep. So just to reintroduce myself, and thank you. So one of the things let me start again. Thank you for everyone to being here. I have also migrated to this country. I have crossed the border. It was difficult to going through that experience, but one of the things that I really looking forward in during this workshop is to either engage students, community members to join the movement and be able to make sure to represent us as a community members, especially at this moments that we are currently nearby the elections. So just to hit you back, Perla, we can continue with the.
Yeah, just go back a slide before, just real quick. Okay, so as you see today, we're going to be talking about organizing. It's going to be kind of an introduction about what organizing is and why this work is really, really important at this moment. And we're going to be talking about like how our organizing has been looking, especially during COVID-19, and how it has impacted our communities. And we're going to talk a little bit about general elections and how you can be helpful to be able to make change in this country. So yeah, so move to the next slide. So I see that some people are already introducing themselves, and that's really good. Something that we're also looking forward to see is your name, your pronouns, and I'm going to explain what pronouns are, and what are something that you're hoping to get out of this workshop. What is something that you're looking forward to this workshop? And it's really important for us to know your pronouns, because knowing your pronouns will let you know how you identified. It's important to remember that not everyone identifies with the pronouns or she or her or we. They don't identify with the pronouns that they were assigned at birth. So it's really important to know what how you identify yourself. For example, my name is Perla and my pronouns are she, her, they, them. They, them are like gender neutral pronouns. Some people use them. You don't use them, that's okay. If you prefer just to use she, her, or him, that's totally fine. And that it will be good for you to put it on the chat so we would know. Good. So, all right. So let's wait for people. Maybe if I can get someone to share their name, pronouns, and then what is something that they're looking for this workshop. Anybody? Share out loud. I know that people are.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. This is Fabian, and he or him, and what else is that I'm supposed to do? I'm sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. What is something that you're hoping to get out of this workshop?
Oh, from the workshop. I don't know, to just understand much better what is the scene actually in terms of immigration, the DACA, and all that has been happening, and that somehow we've been, I mean, not me directly, but we've been fighting for and supporting, even if it is just by heart. And yet, I mean, as an immigrant, obviously, it's a kind of dilemma on whether we have to. What is the sort of right steps to go through? You know?
Yeah, that's really nice. So something
Thank
we're
you.
not going to be talking specifically about migration, but it's important to always remember that police violence and police accountability is really connected to immigration. So that's something that we're going to be focusing on right now. But thank you for sharing, Fabian. Can I have someone else, maybe one more person, to share aloud what their name, pronouns, and what is something that they're looking for this workshop? One more volunteer.
Hello, Stella. Christopher
Hello.
Jimenez. He's our him. I'm from the Dominican Republic. From this workshop, aside of the participation, I would like to kind of get some information about everything that's going on in society now. Nowadays, I barely watch the news or anything like that because it's kind of repeats itself. So I know there's a lot of things in the secret behind that we not have information about. And maybe in this workshop, there's some things that probably I will gasper from everything that's surrounding us today with all the immigration, with COVID, with the police brutality, etc. So that's what I'm looking forward to today.
Thank you for sharing. All right. So while people are putting their name, pronouns, and what they're looking for this workshop, we're going to move into the next slide. And I'm going to pass it to Alexis.
Thank you, Perla, for the introductions. So one of the things, and pretty quick, we're gonna go through like introductions. And now that we were able to introduce ourselves, and then now I see most everyone using the chat, we are gonna have this little icebreaker. There's two pictures in the screen. One, which is picture number 1, is on the top, and picture number 2 is on the bottom. So one of the things that we wanted to see and be able to, all of you to be visual, can I have like either 2 volunteers who can either tell me right now, what do you see in the image and what might you think that it represents?
I see in the first picture shark running after like small fishes, but in the second picture they all teamed up and now they act like they're the big shark, and then the big shark is running away from them now.
Thank you, George. So yes, that's one of the things that it's happened in the picture. Can we have another volunteer who can share aloud?
This can represent when all people unite and do something to change, or like the voice, maybe their voice is important.
Yeah, definitely. And then this is one of the things that we really wanted to bring down to this image, but I really want to have someone, either another folk who can either share aloud. What do you think do you see in this image?
Hi.
Hi.
I don't mind sharing. I think it's just the power of being a collective, like how to just gather together to make a difference. I feel like sometimes we think on our own, we can't really do much, but if we get all our resources together and all our mind power together, we could do a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And then I just connected with the words that George was able to give us a little more into, and then thank you. I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your name?
Salwa.
Salwa. Yeah. We were able to identify of how, like, if the big shark is going through the little fishes, and then now either how they keep organizing, and then you get make it a little bigger, like a certain group, and then go back against the chart. Yeah. What was that?
I'm meeting with the president. So.
Okay. So you wanna share a little more? What do you think you see in the picture?
Next week.
That's okay. That's okay if you don't have.
I got to there this morning, so.
Yeah. Or you might be on mute if you are talking right now.
Oof.
Don't worry. So now that we someone was able to give us a little more of the context of how Organize was able to be able to introduce us in these two images, I'm gonna move forward to the second slide. But one of the things I really wanted to see is what is organizing, right? Can I have a volunteer to read the definition of organizing? Sure, Nala.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, go for it, Chris.
Okay, what is organizing? Organizing is the process of bringing people together in order to use their collective power to win improvements in people's lives and to challenge the power structure. In short, unite to fight.
Yeah, so definitely in a short term, it's like in order to make sure we all collectively come together and either like in a way of unite and fight back, just like similar to the two pictures. Either the big shark has like the majority power and then go against the little fishes, and then on the second picture, which is the result, is how the little fish was able to organize them and be able to bring out people together and be able to collect the power in order to improve their lives or their ecosystem by going against the shark. And then that's the way how we challenge the power structure. And then before we move forward, does anyone has a question or any other maybe comment that wanna highlight it? And if you don't want to share out loud, you can either use the chat and I'm gonna be able to look her over. But are we good? Yes, awesome. Okay, so as we and see be able to folks, if you can still use the chat in order to add in the comments or questions you might have. But meanwhile, what we're gonna do is we are gonna illustrate a video of our recently campaigns that we have worked on, and also the fights in either the wins that we have gone through, made through movement. So just give me a second. I just already have it here. And I'm gonna have a little audio problem, but if that's the case, so give me a second. Are you able to hear? Give me a thumbs up if you hear. Okay, cool. So give me a second. Let me just pull full screen. Let me go back to them.
My name is Clara Spuglia. I come from Ecuador. My role in Make the Rule is I'm a volunteer, I'm a member, and I'm part of the board. I've been living here since 1998. It was the perfect apartment, but the winter we started having issues with the heat. A lot of people being evicted. They found all the excuses to get them out of the apartment. I have fought a lot for this block, and then say, me leaving from here, no. My kids grew up in here. And there's a lot of history out there in the street because I have fought a lot for this block to be the way it is now.
Mi nombre es Doris Orton, yo soy de El Salvador. Tengo 9 años de vivir aquí en Estados Unidos, aquí en el condado de Westchester. Tengo 2 hijos, mi hija Viana de 8 años, Sean que tiene 6 años. Sean tiene unas condiciones especiales, él tiene espina bífida, hidrocefalia, y pues Sean me necesita. a tiempo completo. La transportación en una emergencia para mí es bien difícil, o también así para ir a un lugar, andar viajando en transporte público. Con una licencia, pues uno solo sale, agarra el carro y se va.
My first time going to the meeting on Make the Rule, it felt like I had a family there. It felt that I'm here. I'm gonna get the help and I'm gonna keep my apartment. I'm not gonna let this man take me out of my apartment. Since then, they've been backing me up.
Make the Road serves as a home to a lot of us and our members. And that's where most of us spend most of our time. So like, that's where we cook, that's where we eat, that's where we come together and learn something new. That's where we strategize and plan for the next upcoming campaign. Make the Road is like the home in all of the sites that we are at.
For this administration with Trump, it's been very scary for the community.
There's always something new every day. There's always a new hit every day. It's not just this year. It has been since the election of the current president. And it's just like beautiful to see some of our members step up to this whole new level of leadership.
Porque yo no tengo licencia y si yo me pongo a manejar es un riesgo para si me para la policía. Desde que inició, estuve en la reunión cuando inició la organización aquí en White Plains. He ido con la organización a Albany cuando fuimos al Senado allá para pedir las licencias de conducir.
¡Queremos licencias! ¿Cuándo?
Make the Road made possible for me and other people, not just me, a lot of people, and talk to these politicians that don't listen and say, look, here, this is what we need. This is the people that need changes. You need to do something about it because look, we're gonna be here every single day if we have to until you pass something for us. And that was that.
We understand the courage it took to be in our faces every day on our phone. I know, on those buses, in our offices, having people drive you when you couldn't drive because you wanted to take the time and say, I'm here. We see you. I vote aye.
Tenemos que seguir siempre en la lucha porque necesitamos más leyes que sean para ayudar a nosotros como inmigrantes en este país, para defender nuestros derechos.
Y hacer una pequeña historia.
Para mí es una alegría saber que hay una organización que lo ayuda a uno de inmigrante, que cualquier cosa que a uno le sucede, uno puede ir a la organización.
Make the Road is a big family. He's backing you up whenever you need. Together we're strong. En la unión está la fuerza. Y esa es la verdad. We did that.
Okay. Sorry, I was on off video. So one of the things I sorry. Okay. So I seen in the chat some folks are asking me for the link. I'll post it soon. But one of the things I really want to go forward, and then let me have like a little 2 to 3 volunteers to little share allow what are the issues that you were able to see in the video that it was mentioned through the some of the campaigns. What are those campaigns? So can I have like either 2 or 3 volunteers that are able to visual a little more, or what's the issue that you saw this video?
I think the first issue we've seen was that sometimes immigrants, landlords abuse immigrants when it comes to the rent or the eat, for example. Yes, definitely gentrification. Yes, it's also a problem.
Thank you. And what was your name?
Gonezi.
Unity. Thank you, Unity. Yes, definitely is one of the gentrifications, is one of the highest issue that we have currently worked on, and then it's also one of the ones that has been impacting our communities. But definitely, you're right.
Also in jobs, I had a friend who, because he was an immigrant, he didn't have no documentation.
Yes.
The guy made him work for like the whole month, and then at the end, when he wanted the paycheck, the big paycheck, he was like, no, I don't have anything for you. You came illegal. I don't know you, and all that stuff, which was sucks.
Definitely, George. Thank you for sharing. I think there's a lot of injustices when it comes to labor, especially if they target you based on your immigration status. So that's one of the things that we still working on. And then this is why we mainly connect with elected officials to bring these issues to Albany, and we can either advocate for them. Can I have one more person to share a little more? What was one of the issues that you saw in the video?
I saw unequal treatment, like they didn't have licenses of immigrants. So they're not all at the same level. So how is it expected that everyone will prosper if they're being pinned down all the time? So it's unequal treatment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely, Salma. And then one of the things that it was mentioned also in the video, that we were able to pass the driver license for all, it was the green light bill, which has been implemented in this year as well. But due to COVID, there's a lot of difficulties for either having a permit or either scheduling driving road test if you don't have a social security number. But there's a lot of implementations that we still have to continue with. But one of the biggest thing and one of the biggest victory was that we were able to pass the green light bill. You can get a driver license without caring about what's your background or what's your immigration status. Yeah. I'm gonna post the link shortly, and then I'm gonna pass it to Perla. Perla, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. All right. Can you go back a little bit so before I talk about it?
Sure.
All right. So, so now that we watched the video, we've learned about some of the campaigns that Make the Road is working on, right? So this is what that is something that is representing our organization and the work that we do. And as you mentioned, we worked on gentrification issues or housing issues, employment, licenses, and many other issues that we can let you know while we're having other workshops about Make the Road and the work that we do. But something that we worked that was not mentioned on the video was police accountability and police violence. We do a lot of work on that to make sure to reimagine what safety looks like in our communities, what safety looks like in our schools, in general in our communities. What does it look like, right? So a lot of people are aware there's a lot of protests, there's a lot of actions that are happening in the streets, not only in New York, but all over the country and probably other parts of the world that are related to police violence, right? And what our communities, especially Black and Brown communities, are experiencing every day when it comes to police violence, right? So we're gonna learn a little bit about that, and I'm gonna let you know a little bit of the campaigns that we're working on related to police violence. Next slide. All right. So there was many victories that were happening this year, or this fiscal year that happened in Albany, right? In the state, right? So one of the campaigns that we had was on Safer New York Act that included Repeal 50A, Police Stat Act, and Special Prosecutor. Can I have a volunteer to read what Repeal 50A is? One person, anybody.
Can I do it?
Go.
The discipline records of police officers will be accessible to the public. Daniel Pantelo Francisco Garcia.
Yeah. So what does this mean, right? Having access to the discipline records of police officers. And this is something super, super important that our community needed. The reason why is because, has anybody heard of the case of Eric Garner that happened in Staten Island? Yeah, right? So Daniel Pantaleo, which was the officer that put a chokehold on Eric Garner that was banned in 1998, if I'm not wrong, he had a record of misconduct. He had a long record of misconduct, but nobody knew about it because it was not accessible to the public, right? So we have a lot of officers working in the NYPD that have a record of misconduct that are still serving in our communities. So Repeal 50A will give us access to the records, and that doesn't mean we have access to their social security. That's not it. To their address, no. Any information that is personal to them, we don't have access to that. We only have access to the disciplinary records that are related to the job that they do. So that has nothing to do with their background or anything, but more, it's only about their disciplinary records, right? Police Act. Can someone read Police Act for me?
I can read it.
Go.
Requires the police to record the report demographic and geographic data of low-level office, including violence and the misdemeanor, police killing, including those in police custody.
Yeah, so it's the police statistics and transparency. So this legislation will require police departments across the state to record and report demographic and geographic data of the deaths and killings occurring during law enforcement activity, as well as like enforcement of low-level offenses, including violations or misdemeanors, to improve like the transparency and help address like aggressive and selected police enforcement disproportionately that are impacting at the moment people of color, especially black young people, black men specifically, young people, immigrant communities, LGBTQ, trans, gender non-conforming communities, women and people that are homeless. So we want more transparency when it comes to that. We want to see proofs of what's happening when people have interactions with the police, right? So, all right, I cannot see the last one. I don't know if it's just me, but give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, can someone see what special prosecutor is? Yeah?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, can you read it?
Yeah. Special prosecutor creates an outside entity to come in and take over investigating police killings.
Yeah. So passing this legislation will provide an attorney general's office with jurisdiction in all cases of police killings and deaths in police custody, memorializing and strengthening EO 147. This bill is enacted will help to ensure through fairness and what's it called, and investigations and effective prosecutions in tragic incidents that the criminal justice system has historically failed to address, right? So for example, the person that determines what happened in what's it called in a case, is usually the person that has what's it called, how can I explain it more specifically? Let's say, you know, I'm a police officer and I have a friend, not a friend, but like someone that is connected to my department, right? Another person. And that is the person that is responsible to prosecute my case, to make a decision on the case. But there's bias because we are connected, you know, we are connected. And most of the time, those cases are in favor of the police officer instead of the person that has experienced violence from that police officer. So there hasn't been a lot of justice when it comes to special prosecutor. So we want someone else to make that decision that is not connected to the police department. If that makes any sense. All right, go next. Next slide. All right. I'm sorry, go back, I'm sorry. All right, so something that is, as I mentioned before, when we talk about police violence, when we talk about police accountability, it's really important to imagine what safety looks like in our community, right? What is safety? What will make you safe? And we gotta think about it also in our schools. What makes our schools safe? What makes our students safe, right? And as a person that does organizing with young people, most of the youth that come to my door are young people that are below 21, young people that are in high school, and that are also police violence they're experiencing inside their schools, right? So something that we're working on is what will be a school to reimagine what a high school. Maybe all of you are maybe, I don't know if you just recently graduated from high school or you haven't been in high school for a long time, and that's totally fine. So go back to that high school, right? Move to the next slide, Alexis. Sorry. All right, so go back to the high school, right? And think about these 5 questions. What high school did you go to? And it's okay if you didn't go to a high school here in the country. Probably you went to a high school in another state or something. That's totally fine. Imagine, what high school did you go to? Did you feel like you received enough attention as an individual? How many counselors did you had in your high school? Not only counselors, but social workers. What was the police presence like? And I cannot see the last question. Can somebody read it for me?
What would you like to change?
All right, yeah, thank you. So we're gonna break up into groups. So we have about 42 people. So maybe we can do groups of maybe 7 people. So you're gonna discuss these 3 questions, right? And then when you're in your groups, you're gonna select someone in your group that will report back. Because of time, we're not gonna have time to have them all report, but I'm gonna give you, I know it's a very short time, but I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to be in your groups. If Alexis, can you help me with that? To be in your groups, and then we're gonna get back in 5 minutes. And it's okay if you don't get to answer all the questions. We just wanna hear from you. What was your high school experience and what would you change, right? So we're gonna break people into groups. You ready, Alexis?
Yeah, definitely. Esther is gonna do the magic right now. We're actually gonna divide them in 2 groups of 20. And then through that time, I'm gonna be sharing the questions on the chat. So don't be like, don't get lost. I'm gonna be able to make sure that you get the right questions. And like what Brenda was saying, we're not gonna go through all the questions, but we're gonna make sure that you at least was able to share in the group. So Esther, whenever you're ready, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And then we can start.
Yes, I think everyone is moving to their breakout sessions.
Yeah, all right.
Alexis, can you put back the PowerPoint so I can post the questions onto the chat room?
Yes, definitely. I can copy and paste it. That's totally fine. Just,
Esther, did you want me to go to breakout room 2 or stay here? Go to the breakout room. Okay.
That's the same question I had. So go to the breakout room, right?
Yeah, because should be one of us in there.
Okay.
yeah, I think also just simply having like either groups and have a little like in a way of staff they can support us as well. Esther, if you want, I can either just copy and paste it and put in the chat. That's fine with you. Or...
Yes, do that so I can copy and broadcast it to everyone.
Esther, sorry to bother you. I got disconnected. Do you mind putting me back to breakout room 4, I believe? I was in breakout room 4. Thank you.
That was really good.
It went off.
Awesome. We're just gonna wait until everyone gets back to the room.
Yeah,
And
Christopher had a point, and then we had to kind of the whole clock. Why was it saying that that I have to join a breakout room again? Do I need
later? Do we do that for
later? No, it's gone.
Sorry, let me share back my screen. Dun, dun, dun. Awesome. Let me put this presenter mode.
Right. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of questions on volunteering because I think many are really eager to be part of Make the Road. That's so nice.
Yeah, hopefully people can join to make the road. All right, so while we wait for people to come back, we have to move on because of time. So I hope your conversations went well. It's okay if you didn't have anything to say, and that's okay. So probably we won't be able to get through all the workshop, but that's okay. So can I have maybe one person to share how did your conversation went in your group, and any comments that you have to say? One person.
Hi, I'm Fabian. It actually went very quick. It felt like too short, but it was fun. So we got to know Angelica, Chris, and Gonesi. I'm sorry. And so Angelica is from Colombia, from Bogota, like me, and also from Colombia, from Bogota as well. She went to a private high school. I went to a public high school. And Chris is from Ecuador, Quito, and he also went to a high school, and I think it was a private high school. And Gonesi is originally from Ivory Coast and in Africa, and then she went for high school, she went to Belgium, to a public high school. So it was kind of interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much for now. Yeah.
Thank you, Fabian, for sharing. All right. So we won't have time to get to all the groups where we have to move on, okay? So let's move on to this slide.
Please feel free to use the chat if you want to add a little more comments, and then we can just move forward.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Alexis. All right. So we have to go over this really quick, and I'm sorry we won't get time to get a lot of comments, but something that we have been working on as well, and that's something that a lot of people protesting at the moment are demanding, right? The defunding of the police. And, you know, at this moment, it's important to learn why this is important, right? Can someone read the caption that is there for me, please? Real quick.
I can do it. In his FY 2021 budget proposal, Mayor de Blasio has called for devastating cuts to core social services programs and infrastructure crucial to communities of colors, and that has had a history of underinvestment. Environmental programs, education, youth programming, other agencies. The NYPD budget, however, is largely untouched and giving special protections in the proposed executive budget.
So during the fiscal year of 2021, they made change, they cut a lot of programs, right? Also because of COVID and because of everything that is happening at the moment, right? But the police budget had been remained intact for a very long time. So it's really important to look at this graphic because that will tell us a lot about what that looks like in our communities, right? So for every dollar that goes to the NYPD and corrections, other agencies get, like for example, Homeland Services get 29 cents. The Department of Health gets 25 cents. Housing Preservation and Development gets 19 cents. Youth and Community Development get 12 cents. And then Workforce Investments get 1 cent, right? So it's really important to see what is the problem here, right? So while we well, a lot of people like youth programs, housing programs, health programs are receiving a very low amount of money to support the communities. The police is getting a very high amount of money, right? So it's important to understand why that's a problem and how that impacts our communities. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, so something that we're calling for is counselors, not cops, right? And again, that goes back to what I was saying before on like what safety looks like in our communities and what safety looks like in our school. Can someone read real quick below where it says education, not criminalization?
I can read that.
Go, Raul.
Okay, Mayor de Blasio has grown the NYPD by the owner for $1 billion over the course of the administration. Choose public money and share funding for schools.
Yeah, something that we want is to shift public money to ensure funding on our schools, right? And at the moment, and to be honest, I don't know what the actual data is, but as of 2019, the police department had 5.98 billion in their budget, right? Compared to what other agencies that are required to help our communities. And this is something important to remember because those agencies, the majority of the people that they're helping and black and brown young people are black and brown people that really need those services that are also facing police violence at a higher rate. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, probably we won't get to this part, but let's go to the next slide because of time. All right, so this is like a redistribution of the NYPD's for 50 million annual school policing budget across all 1,600 public schools. Will give every school budget an additional 282,000 each year, right? So as of now, I don't know if you can see all the way at the bottom, but as of now in our school, we have only 670 school nurses, and compared to also social workers, colleges, and counselors, the police has a higher rate. We have a higher police presence in our schools, more than counselors, more than social workers, more than psychologists, and more than nurses, right? That are also important to our students. And that's why we're also calling the funding on the police, including in our schools, because we need counselors, we need social workers and psychologists that are helping our young people, right? So let's go to the next slide, and probably we won't be able to get to all the pictures. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So let me just go through the pictures. This is where we're able to be able to be in front of City Hall with Tweed Courthouse, and then be able to launch our police free schools. This is where all the youth member was able to be in the police center and be able to be part of the launching. And yes.
So something I know that we have 3 minutes. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. Suspension monitoring for the 2020-21 school year, right? So a lot of our young people are in school, at home, right? They're doing school in their homes, and it's already a very difficult time at this moment because of what people are experiencing, what young people are experiencing because of COVID, right? So something that we're demanding is that there should be no suspensions in the 2020 to 2021 school year because of what young people are facing at this moment with COVID, with being at home. A lot of young people dependent on their schools, especially Black, Latinx, Indigenous, transgender, and gender non-conforming young people dependent on their schools to be safe, right? So they are at home and probably they don't have as much capacity to be able to, you know, do everything that they have to do for school. So I hope that goes well. All right, so let's go to the next slide.
Yes, and then I'm gonna be sharing the link for the petition that we were sharing. And And then I'm gonna be doing drumming because this is one of the questions that most of y'all have been asked, how can I get involved? So this is one of the things, this is our page where we are mainly able to a little focus on how the youth and school programs are able to be developed. One of the things that we have in really one is that we have been fundraising in getting donors for us to either able to get our summer youth program action, which runs every year. And we actually, members who are currently active, gets opportunity to get to be with us with a stipend and be able to participate during the summer, and then be be able to get into the educational workshop, go through the actions, and getting through the stipend. But this is one of the things that we have gone as a youth program. And if you want to get involved, you want to become a member, one of the things we would suggest you to do is either you can email us. I'm going to be sharing my email. Probably you can share your email as well. And one of the things that we you can also do, either you can go through the website, send us a tweet, and then you will be able to be referred by us. So this is one of the things that, and then we have so many departments. So either there's one of the topics that you really want to get focused with, then please feel free to do so. Like capture on the email and be able, oh, hey, Alexis, I really want to learn a little more about this. Oh, hey, Perla, I want to really learn about this topic. So we can either let you know which department we can either refer you to. And we are known that elections are coming soon. So one of the things that we were also looking for volunteers and be able to have community members is help us either do phone banking. If you see on the top on the right corner, that's my right. I'm not sure if you see your left. There's a link where you can either visit with more info and be able to see if you have the ability to help us do phone banking. We really need to win certain states. One of the states that we are currently affiliated with and is our sister organization is Make the Action in Pennsylvania. We are mainly focused in that in Pennsylvania because we know that Pennsylvania has one of the biggest keys in order to win this election. So please, if you have the ability to either be part of this movement, be able to join us either Saturday, Sunday on the weekends, or Thursday, if you have ability, you can either help us do phone banking. And you know, you come in a member, you will join this movement, you will be able to learn a little more, get educated in some political actions that we have took. And you know, probably in the future, you can become an intern. That's what I was telling Professor, that we're really looking for having young members to look forward to change the system, because one of the things that they have telling us that youth are not able to change the system, but we tell them they're wrong because youth can build a power and collective, we can make a change in our national level.
Somebody asked what's phone banking. So phone banking is basically making calls about, about what elections, encourage people to vote. We're not telling them exactly who they have to vote for, but we're just encouraging people to go out to vote because that is really important in our communities. So I know that we're like 3 minutes over, but I share my email. Alexis, please share your email. Please get in contact with us if you're interested in volunteer with Make the Road, not only when it comes to the elections, but when it comes to other things. It means a lot to us. So please get in contact with us because that is super important, especially at this moment. All right. So
thank you so much, Perla and Alexis. My name is Rocio, and I'm the career specialist with LHI, and it's my pleasure to be here and to hear all the wonderful work that you're doing. And I think this is a wonderful time to transition to talk about two things. For students that are interested in volunteering, I am here to assist you. I'm going to put my email address and my contact information in the chat. So you can feel free to get in touch with me for help with your resume, for interview tips, any kind of support that you need for any internship opportunities, or just to really talk about how you can turn this passion, such as Perla and Alexis did, into a career. We can definitely talk about that. So I'm here to help you with that. The other item I'd like to just address is we have upcoming events that we really want you to participate in. They will be, interactive. They're going to be amazing. So please RSVP. We have the QR code on the screen, so take a picture of it. Make sure you RSVP for our upcoming events, and you'll hear more about the career development side of this amazing work. So again, my name is Rocio Rosado, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Let's stay in touch.
We provided the link to the survey. So for all those students that are here for class or for ASAP, wanting to get credit for group advisement, please make sure that you're completing the survey. Please join us for our upcoming events. So if you guys don't know, October is our informational. So we're inviting a lot of our nonprofit organizations that we're working with to come do special presentations such as Make the Road. And then next month, we're going to gear towards action, right? So how do we help and support these nonprofit organizations with some of the programmings and some of the things that they have? So please make sure that you continue to join us in our future events. The link is over there so that way you guys can see what's upcoming for the rest of October. And November is going to be super excited. Again, we're going to be helping support Make the Road with their programming and services that they provide. So please reach out to them if you're interested and want to get, a jump start. But of course, with LaGuardia Humanitarian Initiative, we're going to also start putting together some of our fundraising, our action plans. How do we help support these communities? And we want to say thank you all for coming and joining us. Thank you, Perla and Alexis. You guys were amazing. We love having you, and we'll definitely want you guys to come back. So thank you everyone for being here. Sorry it's a little bit over time, but please make sure that we are completing the survey. Again, we want to let your professors know how amazing you guys were today. So please make sure that you guys are completing that. We look forward to having you guys in our future events. And again, we want to make sure that, we're building the community, and even though we're virtual, this is it. We're creating something beautiful. So we look forward to having you guys in future events. And again, thank you so much to Make the Road for joining us.